my channel Monoiz Online Economics. Today we will be giving a class for degree first semester honors. The class will be also applicable for past course also because the syllabus is almost same. But I will suggest the past course student. I do have the same class for that is what we will be going to discuss equilibrium in higher secondary section also. You go through that video, that will also be helpful. Even honors student can also go through that video. Whatever. Today we will be discussing a concept called equilibrium, which is very much important in economics, a important concept in economics. Equilibrium is not a concept of only economics. It is a concept of mathematics. This concept is applied in physics, chemistry, everywhere. Now, the same concept is also applied in economics also. So, what is equilibrium? Equilibrium is a condition or state where two opposite forces acting on a matter and keeping the matter in a steady state position, and if the matter is moved from that position, it will automatically come back to that particular position. That is called equilibrium, and basically it's stable equilibrium. So it is a position where two opposite forces act on a matter and the matter is kept in a steady state position. Now, this is particularly this definition, this particular statement what I made is directly applicable to science. When we come to economics, the same thing will be said. I will be explaining with example. Don't worry. The definition may seem very difficult or difficult to understand. Don't worry at all. In economics, when two opposite forces acting on any factor and keeping that in steady state position, and if any movement from that position again bring back that to that particular position is called equilibrium, basically stable, whatever. This is the definition of economics. I know it's difficult to understand like this. Now, let me give one example. Then it will be very easy for you to understand. Most of you have visited the market for purchasing, say for example, potatoes. Those who go to a vegetable market, or even with your father if you have gone, or anything you purchase. Let me take the example of potato. When you go for, you are going for purchasing potato. So what you say to that seller, please give me 1 kilo potato. So he has a scale, okay, that scale, tarazu, or what to say, palla boli ko. So what he do, he keep one iron, weight of 1 kg in one side. Okay, in one side he keep 1 kg weight, and in this side he put potato. One after another he put potato. Now, initially the scale is like this. What happens? This side it's very low and this side up, because here the weight is not so much. Now, so there are two forces. Let me take it. If it's like this, okay, so there are two forces. One force this side and one force taking it this side, and those two forces are opposite. I am just giving you the example so that you understand. Now, say this is the object which I have to keep like this. So if it comes like this, it is equilibrium. Now it is now like this, because here I put 1 kg weight and this side I don't have anything. Now I am putting potato. So what will happen? Slightly it will go down. So what happened? Oh, it has come down. I have to remove some potato. And in this way he make it balance. Okay. Now this side and this side both weights are equal, meaning both forces are equal. The force which pulling it this side and the force which is pulling it this side are equal, and that's why the scale is like this. Now what happens, interestingly, if you take it like this and you just touch it like this, so it will do like this now. But ultimately, if you give sufficient time, ultimately doing this, it will be again balanced to that particular position. That means it don't want to come out from that position, it will go back to the original position. It will no doubt swing, but after swinging it will swing and it will come to that steady state position. So this scale is now in equilibrium. I hope you understand the concept of equilibrium, not in economics, but in simple sense what is equilibrium you understand. Again, those who get little difficulty, you have to subscribe my channel, and in the channel you do have some videos where you have a video of equilibrium in higher secondary section. So that thing will be very much helpful for you to understand. And one most important thing I mentioned in the beginning, just watching the videos are not sufficient. Most of you are watching the videos, but I am not getting who are watching and who are not. And you are liking the videos. No need. If you want to like it, okay. But make comment so that I understand. Yes, you are watching, or communicate the problems which you are getting. Then what happens? Or you send me comment in my WhatsApp or whatever, so that I can change the topics or change the method according to your need or whatever. So I hope you get a simple idea of equilibrium from this. Okay, so two forces. Similarly, again, if this example I gave in my high secondary video, if there are two persons, there is person A and there is person B, and both the persons are just pulling each other like this. Okay, that tug of war, rope. He is pulling him this side, he is pulling him this side. Now, if Mr. A is very strong, then this will go this side. There are two opposite forces, and if Mr. B is very strong, then this will go this side. But if A and B are equally strong, that means they are using exactly same force, then they will be stuck to this position. Okay, there will be no change. So that can be termed as equilibrium. That is, the forces are equal. Both side forces are equal. The opposite forces, one is taking it this side, one is taking it this side. So these opposite forces are equal. Whatever. Now let us come to economics. Though I have given the example of that scale and market, but that is not also the example of economics. That is also regarding physics or whatever. Let me come to the example of economics so that you very easily understand. Say I went to the market to purchase this t-shirt. Okay, I went to the market to purchase this t-shirt, and I saw the t-shirt, and the t-shirt I like very much. But liking is not enough. I like many things, but what I can purchase which is equal to my budget, that means which is supported my budget by money which I have allotted to purchase that. So I thought I will give something. Now I asked that person, what is the price of the t-shirt? The person said it's 800 rupees. Now what happened? So say it is not fixed price shop. So I thought I could purchase it at 500. So I told him, no, I will not give 800, I will give 500. So he said 800 and I said 500. Now both the things are not matching. Here also there are two opposite forces. What? He will try to take as much as he can, that seller. And I will try to give as less as I can. Lesser I give, I feel happy. More he get, he feels happy. This is the controversy or contradictory situation between a seller and a buyer. Now this is not in equilibrium. Now if he is very rigid that no, you have to give me 800, and I am very rigid, no, you have to give me give it in 500. In that situation, I cannot purchase this t-shirt. Okay, now there will be a negotiation. If the person say, okay, you give 700. I said no. See, I will purchase. I cannot give you 700, but at the most I can pay you 600. Are you prepared to take it? He said, no, I cannot take it. 600 is very less. It's not even the purchasing cost. So I start going out from that shop, and you have experience. What happens? The shopkeeper from said, brother, hello, brother, come, take it at 600. Now what happened here? This 600, I am ready to give him, and he is also ready to give, ready to take. So what I want to give and what he want to take are equal. Clear? Now this is equilibrium price. Why this is equilibrium price? Because at this price he is ready to supply and I am ready to demand. This is also demand. Demand means desire plus capacity. So my demand and supply match, and when your demand and supply match, this is the equilibrium price which I pay for that t-shirt, and that t-shirt will be taken by me, and I have this t-shirt, whatever. This is a gifted t-shirt from my uncle, but I have not purchased it. But I have given you one example so that you understand. In economics, this is equilibrium. I hope you understand. Now, when we talk about equilibrium, we will be keeping in mind that first example, scale, purchasing potato, so that it helps us. Now, in economics, we do have equilibrium. First, we will be explaining the concept of stable equilibrium, and that will also explain the concept of equilibrium. After that, we will be discussing the concept of unstable equilibrium. So first, let us discuss about stable equilibrium. So, since you are degree students, I hope you know what is demand curve, what is supply curve. Those who don't know, go through my higher secondary videos or go through the books. Demand curve and supply curve, you have to know, you have to understand. Demand curve are generally downward sloping. Why? Because demand curve reveals at various prices how much you purchase. So if price of any commodity is very high, you purchase less. If price reduces, then you purchase more. And supply curve reveals at various prices how much you supply. So if price is high, definitely your supply will be high. Q1, P1. So when price increases from OP to OP1, supply increases to OQ to OQ1, and when price decreases from P to P1, demand increases. So demand moves inversely with price and supply moves directly with price. That means when price increases, demand decreases, but when price increases, supply increases. So supply movement and price movement direct, and demand movement and price movement are inverse. These are higher secondary concepts. I hope you know these things. Those who don't know, go through it in book or my earlier videos or even my higher secondary videos. Basically higher secondary videos, there you will be getting these concepts. Now, output price. Here we will be dealing with demand and supply. So see what is happening. This is your demand curve and this is your supply curve. So what is happening? Demand and supply are equal here, like this t-shirt 600. So what happens? This is the point of equilibrium, and from the point of equilibrium we know this is the equilibrium price. Equilibrium price generally P bar. Bar represents equilibrium, and this is the equilibrium output. Say here it is one t-shirt. One t-shirt. Sometimes it may be 5 t-shirt or 2 t-shirt. Whatever the equilibrium will tell you. So this is equilibrium. You have two opposite forces. What are the two opposite forces? I told you. One is demand and one is supply. Why they are opposite? Because they move inversely. As price increases, demand decreases. As price increases, supply increases. So they are going opposite. And they are at this point. I also told you that if he reduces the price, I will purchase. But if he get higher price, he will sell. So these are opposite things. These are opposite forces. So this is equilibrium. And this is a stable equilibrium. Why stable equilibrium? I will tell you. So you remember that scale. What I did, I just touched this part and push it. So what happened? It did this thing, and ultimately it came to and I gave time. It came to the steady state position. Clear? So this is now in a steady state position. This diagram, like that example. Let me touch it. Let me push it. How? Let me disturb it. It is in a very peace of mind. It is in a calm state. Okay. Now I am going to disturb it. That means I am going to change the price. Let me take the price little higher. This will be say P1. So I push the price. So what happened? When I push, it ultimately come back to the original position. It should come back to original position. Let us see it happens or not. So at a higher price, when the price is very high, so what happens? Say this is the supply of any fruit, say orange. So what happens? Since price is high, we people who purchase orange will not purchase this much orange. We will be purchasing only this much. Say P1A. This much of orange we will be purchasing. Previously, say we are purchasing 100 kg in a area. Now only 80 kg is purchased. But since the price is high, the sellers see that the price of orange is very high, 10 rupees, 100 rupees kg to 150 rupees kg. So what they will do? They will try to sell more. So they bring more orange in the market. So that will be B. And you see P1B is more than P1E. That means, say for example, 80 kg orange is demanded, but 150 kg orange is in the market. Now, this much of orange will not be sold in the market. This much means here it will be 150 minus 80. That means 70 kg. 70 kg orange will not be sold in the market. And this is called excess supply. This is excess supply. Okay. Now what happens if in the market the supply is very much? Okay. Now if you go to the market, cabbage, banda gobi. Cabbage price is 50 rupees per kg. So what happens? People are purchasing. Some people are purchasing. Why? Because supply is less. Few people bring banda gobi. But after 1 month, in all these areas, 1 or 2 months, in all these areas in Bijni, Abhaypuri and all Barpeta, cabbages will be produced. These cabbages are coming from Shillong, but cabbages will be produced in these areas. And what will happen? There will be lots of supply of cabbages. Then what will happen? You know, the price will be 5 rupees kg or 6 rupees kg or 10 rupees kg. The price will go down. Why? Because excess supply. So similarly, if there is an excess supply, what will happen? This will start coming down. What? Price. Because you cannot throw these oranges, these extra oranges. You will try to sell it at a low price. And how far it will be going down, or how long it will be going down? It will be going down till it reaches this position. So I told you, so it will be coming to that position. So this excess supply reduces the price. Now, I hope you understand. If you don't understand, let us again disturb. Let us reduce the price forcefully. Government or someone else reduces the price. P2. So P1 is not equilibrium price. I understand from that. Why? Because it is not staying at this point. It coming down. Now it is P2. P2. What is happening? Let us see. This will indicate us. Okay. When we are in P2, then P2C is the supply. Because price is so low, the seller is only supplying 50 kg of, say for example, 50 kg orange. They bring in the market. Since price is low, they don't get profit. But since price is low, people want to have more orange. So what happens? People want to have P2D. That means, say for example, 150 kg orange people want to purchase as a whole. Together, people want to purchase 150 kg orange, but in the market only 50 kg orange is there. I think you know, when in the market more people want to purchase something but only few goods are available, then definitely what will happen? The price of the good will go up. Price of the particular good will go up. You know the situation of Uruka market. In that particular day, since it is a festive day, so what happens in Assam? People purchase fish, and all people want to purchase fish, irrespective of the community. Almost all community people, they try to have party on that particular day. So they want to purchase fish, but suddenly in that particular day, so many fish from where it will come. So what happens? The particular fish which is sold at 300 or 400 rupees kilo, that is sold at 1000 or 2000 rupees kilo in that particular day. Okay, so this is what, when demand is very high but supply is very low, the price is definitely going to go up. So this will also not stay for long. It will start going up. And how long it will go up? Till it reaches this position. What does it mean? I told you, that scale, if I touch it, so it will swing and ultimately it will come to that particular position. So what do we have seen? Going up or going down, they automatically come back to this particular situation. So this is equilibrium, and side by side this is called stable equilibrium. Why stable equilibrium? Because here the position is stable. That means if you take it from, if you go away, if you forcefully try to go away, you come back to that particular position. This is stable equilibrium. I hope you understand. This is the concept of equilibrium, and we have explained stable equilibrium. The last concept which we will be discussing in today's class is unstable equilibrium. There is stable equilibrium and there is also unstable equilibrium. Then there is static dynamic and comparative static equilibrium, that we will be doing in our next class. But here today in our class we will be doing now unstable equilibrium. Let us see what is that. That means that should be opposite to this. Here you go away, you come back to that original position. But in that position, in unstable equilibrium, if you once you start going away, you continuously go away and go away. Okay, that thing happens. Let us see. So output in the x-axis and price in the y-axis. So what happens? Sometimes the demand, sometimes the supply curve also may be like this. Sometimes in exceptional situations. Okay, you will say you told us supply curve is upward sloping just 10 minutes earlier. But now I am saying supply curve may also be like this. Yes, supply curve may also be like this. Why supply curve goes away? So why supply curve is upward sloping generally? Because if you supply more, your cost of production will increase. So price of one, if you need 20 rupees to produce this, if you produce two marker, you need to have 40 rupees or no, if not 40 rupees, 30 rupees. Then if you want to produce 5, then you may need 50 rupees. 120 rupees, 550 rupees. It may happen because you can use same labor and all these things. So this is called, this is the production process. We'll be dealing in details in production, economies of scale and all here, this situation. But I am just giving you an idea of the situation. But in some cases, it may happen if you produce more, your cost of production goes down. In a bulky way, if you produce, then your cost of production is go down. You know the Chinese products, they give at a very low price. How? The Chinese lights and all these things, they give at a very low price. No doubt their technology level is high, but one of the most important thing is that they produce in a very huge quantity. So the price falls. So in that type of extreme situation, this thing happens. That is not so much of our concern. We just have to understand that the supply curve may be downward sloping. That means if you supply more, the price may be, the cost may be, because supply curve is also the cost curve. So cost may be less. And if this is like this, and the demand curve as usual is a downward sloping curve, but little bit steeper. Okay, in such a situation, what happens? Demand and supply are equal at this point. So this is your equilibrium price and this is your equilibrium output. So similarly like the previous one, just difference is supply curve is downward sloping. And like this, this is not supply, this is not demand. What I am going to say is that the supply curve is little flat. It have to be like that to show unstable equilibrium. Now what happens if disturbance comes? I told you we were discussing unstable equilibrium. So if price goes up, like the previous example, what is happening? What is happening? Demand, supply is P1A, but demand is P1B. So as price go up, your supply is less due to any situation. Though it's not normal situation, normal condition, but we will assume. So if price goes up, so what is happening? Your supply is less, but demand is high. So this is your excess demand. In my previous year, I have to mention the same thing. In my previous example, I explained the above portion as excess supply, which was excess, that 70 kg of orange in my previous diagram. The below portion, when the price go down, that excess portion 100 kg, that extra, was excess demand. Similarly, here also it is excess demand. So demand is more. Since there is excess demand, price will go up and price goes up. Again, you see, there is excess demand. The price will again go up. So in this way, it will move this way. Go up, go up, go up, go up, and all this thing will happen. If, on the contrary, you reduce the price to say P4, so what happens? Demand is this much, demand increases, supply also increases. When you reduce the price, demand increases, people purchase more, but supply increases more. This is a normal situation, this may happen. Supply increases more. What happens? There is excess supply. And since there is excess supply, I told you earlier, since there is excess supply in the market, the price is bound to go down. The prices again go down. P5. Again there is excess supply. Again it will go down. So in this way it will continuously go down. So these are temporary equilibriums at a particular position, but this situation is called unstable equilibrium. Here the equilibrium is not stable. If once it start moving in one side, it will continuously move. It will not come back to the original position. So this is unstable equilibrium. After that, we have static, converting static and dynamic equilibrium. We will be coming with this concept in our next video. Whatever, I hope the concepts are clear. These things are in book. You go through the video and go through the book so that you understand any problem you get, or if you understand easily also, then also you comment in the comment section so that I can relate it. Okay, just don't try to simply a very nice video sir, superb video sir. No, those things are not needed. Okay, you tell yes sir, we understand, or this part, this area we don't understand, what is this. So that if you do those things, then I'll be getting your points, and I'll be able to make you understand more easily. So with this, we end here. Thank you.